Hi, in this video we will learn how to make loops, three types of loops: while loops, for loops, and do while loops, in addition to compound statement and increment operators. Let's just start with the loop. Let's make a new project. Let's call it loops, and then again we create a new class. Loops. So now let me create the main method first. Public static void main, and inside the main method I want to play with the loop. In Java we have three types of loops. So the loop, if we want to repeat the same code, the same statement, or the same block of statements many times. So we have while. In while, again, you have these parentheses. In this parentheses, you put the condition that based on this condition, you want to decide whether you want to repeat the code or not. Let me define before the while loop, let me define some variable int I equal 1. And then here in the condition, let's say while I less than 10, I want to do something. Again, similar to if, you can do one statement or many statement. Let's do one statement, for example. If you want to do one statement, you don't need braces, you don't need brackets. So this is the loop. This is the while statement. While xi less than 10, I want to do this. How this while is working, I check this condition. It's true because 1 is less than 10. I will print I, which is 1. And then I don't move forward. I go back to the condition. Let us run the code and see. Here we get a problem. We are keeping printing 1, 1, 1. So this is called infinite loop. Why? Because this condition is true all the time. So I'm printing 1, then I'm checking if 1 is less than 10, it's true, I'm printing 1, and so forth till like without any end. So that's why usually to end this you need to add another operators. This operator is another statement I equal I plus 1. So this statement is changing the value from I. It's starting from 1, now it's 2, next iteration is 3, so it's increasing till it reaches 10. So if you do this, it will print actually the value of I from 1 till 9. Why 9? Because I make less than 10. So if I make less than or equal, it will print 10 actually from 1 to 10. So this is the while loop. I'm repeating these two statements 10 times. So actually I'm keeping repeating them until this condition is false. This is how while is working. We have another statement. Let me comment this part. I want to use the multiple line comment. So with this, I delete this part of the code. There is another way to do the same things using another statement called for. How to write for in Java? You write for parentheses, and then inside the parentheses there is three parts. You define the counter int I equal 0. You define it and you give it initial value, maybe 0 or 1 as you like, and then you write the condition I is less than or equal 10, and then you write I plus plus. So what is I plus plus actually? I plus plus is exactly as I equal I plus 1. So this is another way to write it in Java. And here inside for, again, if you want to write inside for one statement, you don't need the brackets, but you can make them. If you want more than one statement, you have to do brackets. So this code is similar to this code. it has the same effect actually. Here I'm starting from 1, let me start here from 1. So if you run this code, you will also get numbers from 1 to 10. So this is another way to do a for statement, which is, again, it's repeating this code 10 times. How is the for statement working? When I start for, I do this part, the first part, I do it one time. So this will be done one time. Then I check the condition. If the condition is true, I will do this statement. I will execute it. After that, I finish, I go to this part, the third part. After doing to the third part, I go back to the second part and check the condition again. If it's true, I do the statement, and then I increment, I check the condition, I do the statement. So the loop will be in this direction. So this part will be done one time, and then I check condition, do the statements, and increment, and so on. Which is similar to what I'm doing here, because this part I'm doing it one time, and then I'm checking the condition. At the end of the loop, I am incrementing I or adding 1 to I. So that's why it's doing. This doesn't need to be always increment. I can start from 10. I can make greater than or equal 0, for example. And in this case, if I keep it I++, it will be infinite loop, because I will start from 10, next time 11, 12, 13. So it will be always greater than 0. So if I want it to end, I have to make minus minus. So I start from 10, 9 till I reach 0. So here I'm writing from 10 till 0, and then it will stop. Once the I is -1, this condition is false and the iteration is finished. The last thing, let me comment this part again. The last thing I want to discuss is do while. So do while is similar to while. Let me do it again, like int I equal 0, and do while I is greater than or equal 10. Is less than or equal 10, sorry. And here I want to make system. I want to print I, and then I will make I++ or I equal I plus 1. Actually, let me explain while first, and then I will tell you this I++. So here I is 0. I will print 0. I will add it 1. So this do while, how it's different from while? It's different because, let me make this down a bit. Okay. Here we will do one iteration at least, and then we will check the condition at the end. Okay? This is the difference. So in while, we check the condition at the beginning. So if the condition is false from the beginning, we will not do anything. But here, if the condition is, we don't check the condition. So at least we have to do this one time, and then we check the condition. Like I is 0, we print 0, we add 1 to 0, which is 1, and then we check the condition. One notice, like in while we don't write semicolon after y, but in do while we write semicolon after y, just to differentiate between while and do while, because it might be confusing if you are doing something like this. Then people think this is while for a new things. No, if you make semicolon, this tells like this is a do while for something before it, something like this. So these are the 3 iterations or the 3 loops in Java. So usually, if you know the number of iterations, you should use 4. It's a more compact way. But if the number of iteration depends on the condition, you should use while or do while. And if you want to do the statement at least once, you use do while. But if you want to check before you use while. This kind of the rough idea when to use them all. So now let me comment this and let me explain the compound statements. So in Java you can define int x equal to 5, right? So one thing I can do is x equal x plus 1. What's the meaning of this statement? This statement means you need to increment x by 1. So to understand it correctly, in such statement we call it assignment statement. We do the right side first. X, what's the value of x? Is 5 plus 1 is 6. So 6, you store in x 6. So the new value of x is 6. There are 3 ways to do this in Java. This is one way. Let me comment it. Another way is to write x plus equal 1. Again, this is like compound statement. This is the same effect as this. There is even a third way to do this, which is x plus plus. So x plus plus similar to x plus equal 1, similar to x equal x plus 1. So all of them are the same, has the same effect. So x plus plus will increment only 1. Okay, so I can use it to increment or decrement 1. If you want to decrement 1, you write x minus minus. Okay, this compound statement, it can be not only if you want to add 1, you can make it x plus equal 5, for example. This means x equal x plus 5. Or you can make it x divided equal 7. The meaning of this is x equal x divided by 7. So this is the compound statement. Special case, if it's plus 1 or minus 1, you can make it plus plus or minus minus to make it easy in writing. So I hope the video is clear, and looking forward to the next video.